In the vast multiverse of anime, we've seen villains of every shade, brilliant tacticians like Aizen, rapaces like Madara, monsters of ideology like Griffith. But standing atop this mountain now is Sukuna, the king of curses. The High and Air's nightmare, and in modern times, the strongest villain anime has ever known. What makes him so terrifying? So iconic? And more importantly, how did he evolve to surpass all others in power and presence? Today we're diving deep into the terrifying reign of Ryomen Sukuna, his origins, his power, and why he now holds the throne as the greatest anime villain of all time. To understand Sukuna's terrifying strength, we must go back 1,000 years to the Heian era, the golden age of Jumotsu. In a world already overwhelmed with cursed energy, one name stood apart, not as a savior, but as a calamity: Ryomen Sukuna. And like modern-day sorcerers who were forged by battle and training, Sukuna was something else entirely. A being born of overwhelming cursed energy, feared not because of reputation, but because of undeniable presence. Legends say he had 4 arms and 2 faces, a grotesque form to reflect the terror he instilled. Even the mightiest sorcerers of his time failed to kill him. Instead, they were forced to seal his power into 20 indestructible fingers, which were scattered to prevent his resurrection. But destiny had other plans, and centuries later, Sukuna would rise again, through the body of an unlikely vessel, Yuji Ideori. From the very moment Sukuna reawakened in the modern era, it became clear he wasn't a relic of the past. He was a predator reborn in a weaker world. Early on, we saw glimpses of his ferocity, dissecting the finger bearer like it was nothing, effortlessly defeating Gojo despite Gojo being among the strongest curses alive. But power alone doesn't make a villain. It's Sukuna's arrogance, his absolute confidence in his abilities, and the sheer coldness with which he slaughters friend or foe that elevates him beyond the realm of ordinary antagonists. This isn't a villain who fights for ideology. He doesn't want revenge, justice, or balance. Sukuna is a pure force of domination. Power for the sake of power. Perhaps the turning point for Sukuna's god-tier status came during his clash with Megumi's 10 Shadows technique. Not only did he defeat Mahoraga, arguably one of the most broken Shikigami in the series, but he learned from it. Sukuna didn't just beat Mahoraga. He absorbed its core adaptation ability and integrated it into his own fighting style. And when it comes to domain, Sukuna is arguably the most devastating in the entire Jujutsu Kaisen universe. His malevolent shrine doesn't even need a barrier. It's an open domain, a divine dissection field with guaranteed slashes and a wide area of destruction. And after witnessing how he outmaneuvered even Gojo in the Battle of Domains, the truth became undeniable. Sukuna is not just another cursed spirit, he is evolution incarnate. The moment the entire anime world held its breath, Gojo versus Sukuna, the strongest sorcerer of the modern era versus the king of curses, an immortal force of good against an ancient god of evil. For many, this was Gojo's battle to win. He had limitless infinity, 6 eyes, a legacy of invincibility. But Sukuna came prepared. He dissected Gojo both physically and tactically. He pushed Gojo beyond his limits, forcing him to evolve mid-battle, and still, he prevailed. The way he manipulated Megumi's 10 Shadows, the way he adapted Mahoraga's resilience, the surgical use of domain stacking, it was brilliance beyond brute force. And in the end, Gojo Satoru fell. Not because he was weak, but because Sukuna had already transcended. What makes Sukuna stand apart from other legendary anime villains? It's his completeness. Aizen had intellect but lacked true combat strain. Madara had power but was ultimately usurped. Meruem was perfection but still found limits in emotion. Sukuna, however, has no cracks. He's intelligent, strategic, ruthlessly cruel, and supremely powerful, and unlike others, he doesn't change, he doesn't redeem. He doesn't fall into glitch. He remains terrifying to the end. He doesn't care for followers, yet all kneel. He doesn't seek conquest, yet he rules. His mere existence warps the narrative around him. And now that Gojo is gone, there is no one left who can challenge him head-on. He is the final boss and possibly the final god in the story of Jujutsu Kaisen. In anime, strength isn't just about muscle or magic. It's about presence, impact, fear. And no one embodies that better than Ryomen Sukuna. From Heian era horror to modern-day monster, He has claimed his throne at the top of the villain hierarchy. So whether you love him, fear him, or hate him, one thing is certain, Sukuna has become the most powerful, most chilling anime villain of our time. And he's only just getting started. And subscribe to KurashiX for more anime deep dives.